So today we're diving into a topic that's very relevant to the times we live in, the shift in gender roles and societal expectations. It seems like for a long time, men were the ones expected to establish the economic foundation, while women stayed at home. But do you think it's time for a change?
Definitely. For centuries, women were confined to home duties while men took on the role of breadwinner. But now, the world is changing rapidly, and women are finally stepping out, gaining more access to education, and taking on jobs that were once reserved for men. The real question is, how can we balance this new dynamic?
That's a great point. But it's not just about women joining the workforce. It's about preparing for that responsibility, having the knowledge and skills to manage both the home and outside work. I think a lot of women still feel they haven't been equipped to handle both sides.
Exactly. It's interesting because even when women had limited access to education, they still managed to navigate the world in their own way. Magazines, for example, were a huge source of information back in the day. Women didn't just absorb that information, they used it to grow and understand society more.
That's true. But nowadays, with the rise of the internet, there's so much information out there, but I think women still face barriers when it comes to fully utilizing that knowledge in the workplace. We've seen women stepping into leadership roles, but it's not as widespread as it should be.
And you can't ignore the economic side of things either. Men, for example, have been able to establish an economic base. Now women are stepping into that world, but many of them haven't had the chance to build that foundation. They're still catching up.
It's almost like the world is opening up to them now. But they have to adapt quickly, right? Men have had generations of experience in running businesses, managing money, and so on. Women are still trying to catch up, but they can't just absorb what men have built. They need to create something of their own.
Absolutely. Women are capable of more than just following. They need to have the wisdom to drive things forward, but to do that, they need access to resources, education, and opportunities to develop those skills. It's about having a platform to stand on, not just trying to fit into a space that's been carved out for someone else.
It's all about leveling the playing field, isn't it? Giving women the same opportunities that men have had for generations. When we talk about gender equality, it's not about saying women need to be like men. It's about creating an environment where both men and women can contribute equally with their unique strengths.
Right, and the future is going to require both genders to work together. This idea of male and female roles being strictly defined is outdated. We're entering an era where equality means just that: equal responsibility, equal opportunity.
But here's the tricky part. Women can't just wait around for the world to change. They need to be proactive, step out, and make the necessary moves to build that economic foundation. And the world needs to stop treating women as if they're not capable of doing that.
Yes, but it's not just about fighting for a spot in the workforce. It's also about how society values certain roles. If women are still expected to do all the unpaid care work, then it's harder for them to compete in a system that values profit and power over everything else.
Right? Women need to be in the conversation about leadership, policy, and decision-making. It's not enough to just get by in the workforce. Women need to be shaping industries, creating new paths, and influencing the direction of society as a whole.
But there's another aspect to this, isn't there? Even as women gain more power in society, we still need to challenge outdated beliefs. Things like the idea that women can only do certain kinds of work, or that they should only be in certain positions. Breaking those stereotypes is just as important as creating new opportunities.
Exactly. It's about breaking through barriers in every aspect of life. Men and women should be equally equipped to take on all kinds of challenges. We all need to be prepared for the responsibilities that come with equality, not just demand it.
And in this process, men too need to step up. They need to change their mindset, not just about what women can do, but about what they can do together. This is about collective progress, not individual success.
So, to wrap things up, it's clear that the road to true equality isn't just about allowing women into spaces that were once male-dominated, but also about changing how we see gender roles. It's a shift in how we all contribute, not just one group over another.
Absolutely. It's all about building a world where everyone's strengths are recognized and everyone has the opportunity to contribute in their own way. The future of work, leadership, and society will only be better when both men and women stand on equal ground.